Okay, so the next thing to do is to start learning the 108 movements of the Tai Chi set. And that sounds like quite a task, but there's actually only about 36 or 38 unique movements. And even those, there's a lot of similarities among the different movements. So it's not nearly as daunting a task as it sounds like. And in fact, the first thing I want to start with before we get into the very first movement of the Tai Chi set is to talk about some of the basic principles, the basic posture that you use for many of these movements. Okay, so before we get on to the basic foot posture, like leg stance or lower body stance, just a word about the arms. Typically, the way the hands should be held in the various movements of the Tai Chi set is with the arms, the hands open, the fingers open, but not tense. And it's not that they're all on the same plane. The thumb is a little bit lower than the plane that the other hands are on, the other fingers are on. So basically, the idea is to have a relaxed but stretching open hand. Okay, and that idea actually of relaxed but stretching is very much what you're trying to do with all of these movements. Okay, you want it to be relaxed, but you want to get some stretch because that's what loosens up the muscles in the joints. Okay, so that's the hands, no big deal. Shoulders should stay relaxed, you know, for the most part. The main thing about the stance for most of the movements of the Tai Chi set is that it involves a 45-degree angle with the feet, okay? And I'm going to show it to you facing the camera, and maybe, John, if you don't mind zooming in on the feet. Basically, the way to do it is put your feet together and then pivot on the heel of, let's say, the right foot to 45 degrees, okay? So if it's north, south, east, west, this would be what? Northeast, that you're pointing the right foot. And then you take a step forward with the left foot straight ahead, straight north, okay? So you've got a 45-degree angle, one foot to the other, and that's the angle, and it's straight in front so that if you were to slide the foot straight back, it would go right behind the other heel, okay? And that's a more stable stance than if your foot is in too much this way. This is the correct angle, but if I slide my foot back, it hits my other foot, which is not good. Basically, that's like, you know, being on a tightrope. It's not a balanced stance. And also, you don't want to go to the other extreme too much either, where you've got the right angle, but if you slide it back, it's miles away from the other foot. That's unstable in this direction. So once again, the typical Tai Chi stance in this style of Tai Chi is 45 degrees with one foot and you know, a reasonably sized step with the other foot, 45-degree angle, and if you were to slide it back, it goes right behind the other heel. Okay? Now, I'm going to do it sideways because the other thing is the posture above that that's important. So I'm going to go now with the left foot at 45 degrees and the right foot straight ahead. And I'm going to go to the forward position. Can you see that? The whole body in the front part of a typical Tai Chi movement. And what you should note about this is that in addition to the stance that I just showed you, the front knee, the knee of the leg, the front leg that's bent, that's carrying most of the weight, should be more or less above the middle of my foot. So don't put the knee way, way, way out far past the toes or even above the toes, because that's too much strain on the knee. And don't keep that leg locked or stiff. You want it bent, but just gently so that the knee is pretty much right above the middle of the foot, okay? That's in the forward position of a typical Tai Chi move. And the back leg in a forward position is straight, so that there's more or less a straight line from your back leg all the way up and your spine, okay? So in other words, you're not like this. In this particular style of Tai Chi, you're not vertical. You are actually leaning forward a little bit more, but not, too much. More or less a straight line from the foot to the head. Okay? And what else is there that's in common to all the movements? There's the hands, there's the 45-degree angle, and there's the straight line. I think that's about it for now. Let's stick with that. I'm sure there'll be other principles that I'll talk about as we go through the first few movements. And I'll mention them then because I can't think of them now. So that's it for this one. And next we'll do the very first move of the Tai Chi set.